Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today we're going to play the Growling Old Man, Grumbling Old Woman. This is a really interesting tune from Quebec, made famous by TV fiddler Don Messer. I suspect this must be a relatively recent composition, well, at least late 20th century, because it is such a kind of a striking composition. It's not the kind of thing that would happen in a traditional tune. So what we've got is the title, A Growling Old Man, Grumbling Old Woman, and the tune is in two halves, and one is a growling part and the other is a grumbling part. And the first one is clearly a man because it's low down and grumpy. The second half is a woman who is shrill and persistent. The most important thing about the tune is the first section of getting the Georgia shuffle. So I think it really wouldn't work any other way apart from this. So you start with a down and then three ups and an accent on the next down. So the Georgia Shuffle, I have a video on this, and if you've not done this before, it's well worth learning that. It's a very useful pattern for lots of other tunes and also for improvising, so well worth spending some time on. I'm doing the fiddle capo for all of the A notes. I'm putting my first finger on the A and the E above it, so that you can get to some extent a drone on any of those notes you like just by digging in. And then you lift it off. And the whole thing happens twice. And then I think I would do a slur, two notes up, and then I'll just do that slower. So there's got quite a few accidentals in here. Although the key is A, we've got G naturals, so it's like a mixolydian. Coming down, you got a C natural, and then a C sharp going up. C natural again. C natural at the bottom. And you can do some open string drones in that lot. As regards bowing, I would certainly put some slurs in, especially if you're doing it fast. The slurs are up to you, but I would try and find a few patterns, maybe 3 and 3 and 2 or something like that. I do have a video on Irish bowing which will give you some alternatives for this kind of tune. Okay, let's just do once round the tune with the backing. Okay, now I first worked this tune out some years ago. One of my followers on Patreon asked me to show her this tune and also to write a solo, an improvised solo, which she could perform at contradances, because this is a very popular contradance tune. And so I wrote this very bluesy solo, which I would say is very much not in the tradition. But if you play in a contradance band and you want to be different, you want to be noticed, then this is the kind of thing you might consider doing. So I'm not going to show you the detail of the solo, although you can get the sheet music, as I'll tell you at the end. It's mostly based on the A minor blues scale. And it's got a couple of fairly memorable licks. That one, 1, 2 open, also open 1, 2. And having repeating licks like that is a good way of using up a bit of space without having to think too much. So I'll just give you the solo at moderate tempo, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, some of you will have already turned off in disgust. Some of you will just be thinking, what is he playing at? And to some extent, I agree with you. It's a bit weird doing something like this, but I've done it anyway. I'm also going to show you a chopping solo, and normally I would say chopping doesn't really fit into this style of music very much, but for a grumbling, growling old man, this is a pretty good solo, good approach to soloing. And if you've never seen chopping before, I do have a video which will help you to understand this. So I'm going to play you out with once around the melody, once around this written solo, and once with some chopping. Hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like a copy of the sheet music, do subscribe to the channel and send me an email. And if you consider joining me on Patreon, that will greatly help to keep these videos coming.